So I got a couple of fragrances sent over by the brand 𝗏𝗏𝗏 with real cool different presentations, but one of them has the name blurred out in the background, which gives me an idea that it might be potentially called woody. For some reason, it just, why would you blur it out if the other one says wool on it? Now, there's different in here that I'm just not familiar with, but I really like this mysterious towel packaging. It's almost giving me sex toy vibes, like you bought it really on the low and it has very minimal packaging so the USPS dude doesn't think you're a complete pervert.
Oh my god, is this an intervention?
And especially this one with the X'd out words. Lord knows what my male guy thinks. But let's roll my motherfucking music so we can unbox these two 𝗏𝗏𝗏 fragrances and see if not just the new packaging is dope, but the fragrances as well.
We're all alone in the middle of the river, yeah. For some friends from the south side, in case you cared. Out of all your friends, I wanna be
Blessing morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. It's your boy, 𝐶∗𝑑∗𝐵. Shout out to 𝗏𝗏𝗏 for blessing this and send me a little PR package. I don't have much information on these fragrances as they just show up at my PO, so I'm not 100% sure of really anything about the fragrances. I'll look up to see if they're already released or it's a pre-release, and I'll let y'all know what I think about the fragrances as well as look up those notes. But let's open up that little suspicious package. I mean, y'all know me already. There's no way that when you have something blurred out like this, that it's not gonna be of intrigue, right? So I'm gonna tear open the packaging here. It feels like there's some sort of tray or something in here, and it has like this whole breakdown of components. Oh, and this is how that packaging comes in. Very cool, very modern, very sleek and clean looking. And then it has this breakdown on the back that says, an ongoing collection in which fragrance from your past, present, and future converge. Original formulas from the archives, remastered versions of old favorites, retirees from scent space, and unique collaborations make up the origin of these modern American fragrances. All right, so let's crack this joint open. Made in America? All right. How do we open this thing without me breaking something? All right, so there's a tab down here. Of course, let's gotta keep it on them. All right, let's bust this joint open real quick. I just wanna make sure I don't drop anything. Very cool looking. Look at that. Comes with a little travel atomizer also. I don't know how I'm gonna show the camera this thing without it falling, but I'm gonna do my best. You got the fragrance on top. Why you still got it blurred out too? Because probably can't keep them in stores. Here's the little travel atomizer, the spray atomizer. I don't know what the hell this is, like a nozzle that pours of some sort. Looks like some shit you would have with olive oil, but okay. So let's pull out the fragrance here. I'm gonna assume it's wood. No! First thing in the description says what? Jammy plums. I'm boosted. Forget anything I'm saying. Plum? They didn't tell me this shit had plum. I'm going right into this motherfucker. Since the notes are here, let's just get over that. So they got the perfumer, the year of the fragrance, so it's not a new release, 2023. I guess this is from the archive, and it's jammy plum, blackcurrant, violet, davana, patchouli, saffron, lavender, mahogany, oak, cedar, and vanilla. W-O-O-D, no. It wouldn't be woody. W-O-O-D-Y. No, it's not woody. What the fuck is this? Now I'm curious. Damn, I can't figure out what the true name of this fragrance was. I was convinced in my head that it was woody, but it's not. I thought woody like hard on or whatever. So what the hell is it supposed to be? So apparently this, when you put the atomizer on, here's what it looks like. So apparently this is from their archive, so they're resurrecting this piece, I'm assuming. Again, I don't have much details on this joint, and I think it's best that way. It organically comes out to find out what I like and what I dislike. Now I understand. I'm boosted right now because it says jammy plum. I love plum fragrances, but there's been some plum and fig notes in certain fragrances lately that have been letting me down. I don't know if I've smelled this in the past, if this is an archive one, but I don't have a ton of experience with 𝗏𝗏𝗏, so it might not be. I'm gonna go directly on skin. I don't have any. Oh, good atomizer. Oh wow, shit, that's very good distribution. All right, get the fuck out of the way. Let me get into this plum. Let's hope I'm hoping it's good. W-Y. Let's go. Ooh, very punchy and kind of chemical-like on the opening. So I gotta give this time to air out. There's a very like scratchy muskiness upon the opening. Now in the air right now, I am getting fruity jamminess for sure. Can't necessarily pinpoint it as plum right now. I am getting a super smack in the face of blackcurrant and a lot of woods, a lot of dry woods. There's a little bit of a vetiver action coming in the air. Oof, this shit is strong. Holy shit, it is potent as fuck. There's a little bit of a cleaning detergent-ish kind of smell with this, along with the jamminess. It's starting to wipe down a lot better. There's a cleanliness about this fragrance as well. Ooh, I'm starting to get a bit of that violet leaf and a lot of like cottony fabrics Okay, more of the jamminess starts to come off. I don't know what they use here as far as fragrance is concerned, or adhesive or aroma chemical, but there's something here that is very potent and very strong. Not necessarily fragrant related. It feels like something as far as that, like the perfumer's alcohol or whatever the case may be. It kind of feels that way, and then it starts to wind down into the fragrance notes. The woods here are very prominent, not allowing the plum and jamminess to shine. I want it to be the star of the show. It's not necessarily becoming the star of the show at this moment, but you can pinpoint and find little details of it, which is giving me a little bit of a smiley face, but no goose pimpies. There's also a santal-ish kind of energy, some sandalwoodish cedar combinations here. There's a masculinity to this fragrance. I don't feel that it leans feminine in any way, in my opinion. Even though it has a little bit of a jammy fruitiness, I don't feel that that fruitiness is coming off unisex or feminine. Oh, patchouli's coming up. You got a little bit of a soily stink. Nice though. It starts to wind down a lot better. This is gonna have to be a full dry down situation because of that aroma chemical punchy, because it really starts to unravel nicely, but there's a lot going on in the front, which leads me to believe that the sillage bubble around me and what it's doing on my skin is gonna have a solid performing fragrance on our hands. So I wanna really experience this joint on full dry down so I can give you my thoughts. The opening, slightly sketchy, a little bit weird and kind of all over the place, but mid into full dry down, shit is starting to formulate. So I'm gonna let this one fully dry down. Let's open the other one and go through that process. All right, so this one's called Wool. Whoa, a lot of W's up in this piece. Same packaging. I really like the packaging. I like how creative they got with it. It's very different, super unique, same presentation. And also it says Origin Archive. So I guess this was a DNA that already existed. I think commodity has switched hands once or twice, if I'm not mistaken. At some point, I feel like it was gone. And honestly speaking, there were some of the fragrances that were at the discounters like Century 21 for like a really cheap price, including a badass whiskey fragrance. They have some solid fragrances in their lineup, but you know, business is business at the end of the day. Same presentation. Here's what that bottle looks like before we put the atomizer on. Also a 2013 release. This one has mandarin, grapefruit, apple, lavender, basil, cedar, artemisia, amber, vetiver, musk, and vanilla. All right, let's put the atomizer on. All right, let's go on the other arm with the new wool. Well, the new reimagined wool. Because if there's any indication that this aroma chemical punchiness is gonna come out of this fragrance, I don't want to just dig my nose in it and just have a bad first impression, right? So give me a couple seconds. Come on, dry bitch. All right, here we go. Oh, this one actually very fresh, very clean, a lot less sharp on the opening. Very wearable, soft, a beautiful mandarin kiss. Almost smells like sun rays on top of like a mandarin grove. Very clean, very soft, a beautiful green basil touch. The basil here is beautiful, almost photorealistic. Like I could damn near taste the basil in this is very nice, super soft, light, comforting, hot weather spring. Perfect. This is very nice. I love how this one formulates on my skin. Ooh, we're getting more changes here. A little bit earthier, a little bit drier, super clean. Nothing overly complicated either. It's not gonna be one of these fragrances that are like super in-depth, but it's clean, it's sexy, it's handsome, it's unisex. Like out of the shower, fresh open pores, you just did your hair and you just went hamburger. This is a fragrance that can absolutely get you compliments. You have no doubt with this fragrance that it's gonna be kind of challenging, or I don't know, kind of like what I experienced with the other WY fragrance. But this one has more of a crowd-pleasing capability here. I love the cleanliness. I love the simplicity of this fragrance. Nothing groundbreaking, nothing, oh my God, like fucking blow your nuts off, but clean and beautifully done with a nice, again, sun rays kissed mandarin grove, beautiful basil, very clean, slightly soapy. It's handsome, ultra office safe, non-offensive, packed elevator, train. You're not gonna be like, who the fuck spray? Like, who smells like that overabundance of fragrance that some people have? I even feel strongly that if the oversprayers use this fragrance, like it's not gonna be aggressive. Like it's just gonna be like an overabundance of a beautiful sunny day. This is very nice. Wool doesn't give me any kind of wool tendency, but let me go back to that W.Y. Now we're finally fucking cooking with grease. Now we're getting more jam. The dryness and that chemical aspect has completely dissipated. Very earthy, almost fig-like, and this is a very overripened plum note. So we're getting a little bit of a fig. There's an overripe plum note. A lot more patchouli is coming up, and a lot more dry woods are coming up. Not a spectacular plum fragrance. It feels a little bit more wood forward than plum, and the jamminess from this fragrance almost feels more prune slash figgish to me, which I'm okay with, but I wanted more plum. Like if I see jammy plum, I want more of that sweet, juicy, mouth dripping plummy note that this one doesn't have. It has more of a jamish, marmalade, dark black currant mixed with fig/prune kind of DNA with dry woods at the base. Also with an interesting characteristic, like this joint to me for some reason speaks like hipster kind of vibe, like Williamsburg, Brooklyn, like Greenpoint, Brooklyn, waterfront, boho chic, Soho shopping but for vintage. I don't want to smell like anybody else, but I still want to smell handsome, but I'm okay wearing natural deodorant because those crystals under my armpits work. They don't. So for this one, the plum forward one, I would rate this joint like a 6. Now for the wool fragrance, as basic-y as this fragrance smells, it's basically done really nicely, and I'd give this like a 6-8. It's clean, very wearable, very inviting, very comforting. This, I'd be super comfortable wearing this around my chick and her not having the coughs or the sniffles or the subtle innuendos that some fucking crazy Latinas have. It's just like, wow, did you spray the whole bottle on you? Did you shower in cologne? You know, that kind of fucking response. I know a lot of y'all have gotten that shit. So for me personally, wool stood out a little bit more as just comforting and beautifully done. I was hype about this shit having plum in it, but the jammy plum essence here, as I mentioned before, screams more fig/prune, and it's just a little bit more wood forward. Love the presentations, love the look, a little bit more risk taking when it comes to the fragrances, and that's kind of what I feel like I've experienced with the brand commodities in the past. Like the ones that were bangers were solid bangers, but the ones that were okay were just kind of just aight. So I hope with this new ownership or new management or whatever, they get a little bit riskier when it comes to the fragrances. The packaging, they got it on point. I love a little bit more ballsier energy and ballsier notes in these scent profiles. But shout out to Commodity for sending these fragrances over. Let me know what commodity fragrance did you have in the past or have you recently tried that has blown your nuts off, and maybe I'll get my paws on it. Leave it in the comments below. I'll see y'all bitches next time. You know who it is, biggest in the gang. Smooches.
For the fly gun holder, money folder, molar roller, start tack when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game, but he don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib. It's nonsense you never get in. It's nonsense that you would think that you would